If I remember right, we started in the series and parallel circuits last Monday as we progressed through there. In a series circuit, electrical current has only one path to take. The current's the same at all points in the circuit. The total circuit resistance is the sum of all the resistances in the circuit. I think we went ahead, if I remember correctly, it started progressing into Ohm's law a little bit when we spoke about series circuits, and we spoke about how the resistances or light bulbs or whatever we wanted to use as a resistance in there, and how if we had one resistance in the circuit that was 10 ohms, in a series circuit if we added another resistance and it was 10 ohms, then the total resistance of the circuit is what? 20 ohms. It's additive, right? The voltage is divided across all the loads for resistance. Any interruption in the circuit will stop current flow through the entire circuit. So, series circuit, if something opens in the circuit, shuts everything down. We stop our current flow altogether. Current only has one path that it can take. Of course, we looked at with the battery, simple circuit here with a light bulb. We close it. When we close it, we know that electrons flow back to the other side of the line. Only one path. It's open. When we open the path, it didn't have any other choice. It could not flow any longer. And again, we just said series circuits, resistances are additive, current and resistance. So we worked through this problem the other day. But what's the total resistance of this circuit?
50 ohms.
50 ohms. 25 plus 15 is 40, plus 10 more is 50 ohms. Simple enough. We have a 100-volt power supply. Based on what we went over last week, we can figure out what the amp draw is going to be on this circuit, right? How much current is going to flow through this circuit, right? What do? 100 volts divided by 50 ohms equals 2 amps. So we know this circuit is going to be a 2 amp circuit. If I was sizing a breaker protection for this circuit, I know our breaker couldn't be larger than a 2 amp breaker, right? Or safety of some sort, fuse, if you want to say. If it was larger than 2 amps, we'll probably burn something else in the circuit the size of the wire to those resistors. We can work it backwards and do the math to find the voltage across each resistance. See how they did that, each resistance. If we knew the current, we know the current's the same through every resistor, right? We know 2 amps is going to flow through this whole circuit. Well, if we know 2 amps and 10 ohms, 2 amps, 10 ohms, we can do the math, 20 volts right there, right? 2 amps, 15, 30 volts. 2 amps, 25, 50. So we can say 50, 30, and 20 equals 100. They'll add up, right? So we have a voltage drop. 20, 30, 50 equals 100. All right, parallel circuits. Pick up here today. Parallel circuits, the current can take more than one path Each branch circuit is unaffected by the other branches. The supply voltage is the same in all branches. The current is divided between the branch circuits. The total circuit resistance drops as more branch circuits are added. Most circuits are configured as parallel circuits. So what does that mean? Some more of our rules, current and voltage. Well, we changed our resistance, have we not? And we're going to work through a few. How we find total resistance. Here's an example parallel circuit. If this resistor opens, does it affect these two loads? Let's just imagine these are light bulbs. Okay? We have 3 light bulbs right there. This switch closes, power flows, this light bulb lights, this light bulb lights, this light bulb lights. If this one burns out, does this one still light up? Does this one still light up? It does, right? It has other options. That's a parallel circuit. They're in parallel together. We can go back 5 amps on this, 42 volts divided by 7 ohms is 6 amps. What can we do right here? What is our total resistance in this circuit? Anybody give me some examples? I have 3.
Each light bulb, right? I mean, 60.
Is it additive? Being a parallel circuit. If I want to know the total resistance of a parallel circuit.
It's 1 over each of those.
1 over each.
1 over 21.
1 over 21.
Times is equal to 1 over the total resistance.
So what do we come up with?
7 ohms.
7 back to 7 ohms. And when we came up with the 7 ohms, right there, I can do the math and find out what the total current for the whole circuit is, right? That's a 6 amp circuit. Or I can break it down and I can tell the resistance of each individual circuit, right? We have 42 volts, 21 ohms. That's going to use 2 amps. 42 volts, 21 ohms, 2 amps. 42, 21, 2 amps. That's pretty simple right there. No problem. All our resistances were equal, right? Every one of them was 21 ohms. Would anything be affected if that 21 was there and maybe that was a 10 right there? How about this one? That might make it even a little more simple. What do we have? The problem we have here is
Each one's going to draw different.
what, just knowing what I know and what you know now about parallel circuits. total resistance of this is not going to be 25, right? Because it's not added. As a matter of fact, I can look at it and know the total resistance is not going to be 20. It's going to be less than 5. We know that. Less than 5.
It'll be 4.
5 or less. It's going to be 4. How'd you do that? Tell me.
R1 times R2, which is 100.
So you're saying R1
Mhm.
is this right here,
Right.
times,
R2, which is 20. That gives you 100 divided by R1 plus R2. So it'll be 100 divided by 25.
you got 4, right? 20 times 5 divided by 20 plus 5. Basically the same thing you just said. 4 ohms. Now, if I'm working a problem on a test or a quiz, and if I got anything above 5 ohms, I already know I'm headed the wrong direction, right, on this here. 4 ohms. So we know total resistance is 4 ohms, so we know if total resistance for a circuit is 4 ohms, 40 volts, 4 ohms, what's our total current draw going to be?
10 amps.
10 amps. Amps. 8 amps through that one, 2 amps through that one. Five goes into 40 8 times. 20 goes into 40 2 times.
So if like the branch with the 8 amps running through it got interrupted, you'd only have 2 amps running through the whole circuit, right?
Yes. Why is that? Why wouldn't the other 8 amps just run over there and run through the other?
It's parallel to each signal.
It's shared the load.
Because of your resistance.
Because your resistance. Resistance what?
The higher resistance there is keeping.
The harder it is for the electrons to flow through. You're on board now. That's opposition to electron flow. The higher resistance, the harder it is for electrons to flow through it, the harder it is for electrons. What is electron flow? It's amps. When we're talking about the flow, the current, we're talking about amps. We're talking about resistance. We're talking about the resistance for that current to move through there. This has a higher resistance, so not as much current's going to flow through. Like my water analogy I like to use. You got a creek, water just running free flowing down through there, no resistance whatsoever. Flows so many gallons per second down through there. If I build a dam across that creek, I've put a resistance in there, right? And now I'm not going to flow near as much water through there. Same thing with electrons. I'm not going to flow as many electrons, or have the electron flow through there if I have a higher resistance. Higher resistance. Now, what if I had that resistance and I wanted to get more current flow through there? What would I have to change? If I raise my voltage, right? If I step my voltage up from 40 volts to maybe 100 volts, now I flow more electrons through there. Are we okay? Let's talk about power then for just a second. Electrical power is measured in watts. Kind of went over this already. 746 watts equals 1 horsepower. 1,000 watts equals 1 kilowatt. Watt equals voltage times current in DC circuits. We're going to base it on voltage times current. Consumers are charged by the kilowatt usage. Voltage times current. I spoke with you on this a week or two ago. You might want to write this down, keep up with me, because I may lose it myself. You have to remind me where I'm at here in a minute. PGA Power here in North Alabama, let's say we're charged 9 cents a kilowatt hour. 9 cents for every 1,000 watts we use now. We take a light bulb, because most light bulbs are on 120 volt circuit. 120 volts. That light bulb pulls 0.5 amps. How many watts does that light bulb pull? 60 watt light bulb. If I know that light bulb burns for 24 hours, so it's burning 60 watts an hour for 24 hours, it's burning 1,440 watts in a 24-hour period. How much did it cost me to burn that light bulb for 24 hours?
$12.96. Or no.
No.
Sorry.
I'm thinking it's around 12 cents, but I don't know.
Yeah.
What is it?
Almost 13. 0.1296. So almost 13 cents.
So, let's just say 13 cents. Cost us 13 cents to burn that 60 watt light bulb on your front porch all night long. All right. What about the 120 watt light bulb at 120 volts?
So 120 watt light bulb?
120 watt light bulb. Did I say 120 watt? See, I lose myself. 120 watt light bulb at 120 volts.
26 cents.
26 cents. So I used twice the power with that 120 watt. Before I move on, at 120 watt, how many amps did it pull? 1 amp. All right. We can do the math backwards on 120 volts. Okay. 26 cents times 30.
$7.80.
$7.80 a month. 13 cents times 30.
$3.90.
$3.90. Difference of $4. So just by the different wattage in your light bulb on your porch all night long. That's just one light bulb. If it's 120, just use $8 worth of power. Not including, remember we talked about it the other night, the microwave oven, the alarm clock, everything else in your house uses power. Now, since the big end thing now is go to the fluorescent bulbs, anybody have any, right offhand I'm drawing a blank. Anybody have any idea what the current draw is on a fluorescent bulb right now? wattage or anything else they use. I'll find out, or you go home and figure out what it would save you if you converted your house to fluorescent bulbs. 13 watts, that sounds right, 13 watts. And they're 13 watts supposed to equal like a 60 watt bulb, right? So let's just do that math real quick. 13 watts, if it burned all night long, I think you're right, somewhere around 13 watts. 13 watts at 9 cents for 24 hours.
A little under 3 cents.
3 cents. Everybody else coming up with something close to that? 3 cents an hour. 3 cents for 24 hours.
24 hours, yeah.
So if you did that on 30 days, you probably paid for that light bulb in 1 month's time if you're leaving it on 24 hours a day. And you may not. I mean, I drive through the neighborhood and I see some houses and I don't think they ever turn the lights on. Some of them, you never see a light on. But that just give you an example of why your power bill is what it is. Let's one other little problem I like to look at a lot of times is electric heaters. A lot of people at their desk in their office like to have a little space heater or have a heater by their chair in their house, electric heater. Most circuits, receptacle circuits, are going to be 20 amps or less in your house. Usually, let's say 15 amps. It's going to be the maximum that circuit can handle. It's a 15 amp circuit. 15 amps circuit, 120 volts. 15 amp circuit, 120 volts. What is the maximum wattage heater that we can plug in there? $1,800. That's the maximum, right? We're probably going to blow the breaker at $1,800. So it's probably not by surprise that whether you buy an oil-filled radiator type electric heater, infrared electric heater, a little space heater, milk house heater, whatever, it's no surprise that most of them maximum are 1,400 watts, 1,400. Gives some room for comfort. Keep them max and circuit. Low, they're 800 watts. Medium, 1,000. Medium high, 1,200. Maximum, 14. So if I have 1,400 watt heater, I ran it on a cold night all night long at 9 cents a kilowatt hour. How much did it cost me to run that heater all night? And then let's find out what it cost me to run 30 days.
So that is what it is. We divided it by 1,000 is the cost of what it costs to run out.
1,000 kilowatt, 1,000 watts cost you 9 cents. And you got a heater that's using 1,400. So
$3.02.
$3.02 to run that heater all night long. If you did that on 30 days, what did that cost you? $90.
Yeah, $90.
$90 plus that other $10 for that light bulb. Start to see why your power bill is adding up to what it is. All right, I told you I was going to keep it short and sweet.